Imagine living the perfect life. A beautiful house, a happy family, and a white picket fence all around you. Everything feels just right. Now imagine that perfect life falling apart when you find out the two people you trust most are hiding a terrible secret. A secret so awful it ends in murder. This is the story of Megan Preston, a loving wife and mom from Austin, Texas. Her world seemed perfect until a shocking betrayal turned it into a nightmare. A secret affair, a heartbreaking discovery, and a night that ended in tragedy. You're about to hear every chilling detail of what happened. And trust me, there's a twist you won't see coming. Hey, Williams here with True Crime Intel. We're diving into a wild true crime story today, and we've got new ones dropping every week. If you're ready for the ride, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell icon so you don't miss a single true crime story. It's July 2023, and we're in a quiet suburb of Austin, Texas. Picture a cozy two-story house with a neat garden out front, flowers blooming, and a white picket fence running along the yard. This is where Megan Preston lives. She's 35, a friendly elementary school teacher who loves her job and her students. But her real joy? Her two kids, Mike, who's 8, and little Cynthia, just 5. They're her whole world. Then there's her husband, Bruce. He's 38, a big-shot corporate attorney at a fancy law firm. He works hard, often coming home late, but he always walks through the door with a smile, ready to play with the kids or relax with Megan. The couple met back in college. Megan was studying to be a teacher, dreaming of helping kids learn. Bruce was a law student, confident and full of ambition. They fell in love fast, got married a year later, and built this life together. A solid marriage, good jobs, 2 sweet kids, and a beautiful home in a nice neighborhood. It's like something out of a movie. On weeknights, their house is full of laughter. The family plays board games or watches movies together. On weekends, they pack up and head to Lake Travis, where they have a small boat. They'd spend hours on the water, splashing around, eating sandwiches, making memories. Megan feels proud of what they've created. She believes she and Bruce have faced tough times before, work stress, sick kids, money worries, and come out stronger every time. To her, he's not just her husband, he's her best friend, her partner in everything. Their home is warm and happy, the kind of place where you'd never think anything could go wrong. Megan looks at her life and thinks, this is close to perfect. She has no idea that something dark is hiding just beneath the surface, waiting to tear it all apart. Because perfection, it's never what it seems. And in this house, behind that white picket fence, things are about to change forever. At first, it's just little things. Bruce starts staying late at the office more and more. Big case, he tells Megan when she asks, flashing that same old smile. But it's not like before. He stops suggesting their evening walks around the neighborhood, the ones they used to love. No more quiet dinners out, just the two of them. He's still there, helping Mike with homework or reading Cynthia a bedtime story. But something's off. Megan notices he's quieter, lost in his own head. She tells herself it's just work stress. Bruce is a lawyer after all, always juggling tough cases. She wants to believe that's all it is. Then there's his phone. It used to sit on the kitchen table, screen up, no big deal. Now he keeps it close, slipping it into his pocket or turning it face down when she's around. One night she catches him typing fast, then locking it quick when she walks in. "Who's that?" she asks, trying not to sound casual. "Just work," he mutters, not looking up. Megan feels a knot in her stomach, but she pushes it down. She's not the suspicious type. She doesn't want to be. As the weeks go by, the changes pile up. Bruce's mood shifts. He's snappy one minute, distant the next. Megan tries to help. She cooks his favorite meals, keeps the house warm and welcoming, hoping he'll relax. But he pulls away more. Some weekends he says he's got business trips, leaving her and the kids alone when they used to spend every Saturday together. Megan starts wondering, what's really going on? She's scared to ask, scared of what she might find. Part of her wants to dig for answers, but another part just wants everything to go back to normal. So she turns to the one person she's always trusted, her mom, Katie. Katie moved to Austin a few years back to be near the family. She's 58 now, with silver in her blonde hair and a warm smile that always puts Megan at ease. They're close. Best friends, really. Katie comes over often, bringing cookies for the kids or sitting with Megan over coffee. Lately, Megan has been pouring her heart out to her. "Bruce is acting strange," she says one afternoon, stirring her mug. "He's so closed off. Do you think I'm overreacting?" Katie listens, her face soft. "He's probably just tired, honey," she says. "You know how hard he works. Give it time." Megan nods, feeling a little better. Katie's always been her rock, full of wisdom, always there when she needs advice. They talk about the kids, about life, about everything. Megan trusts her completely, leaning on her more as her worries grow. She still hopes it's nothing serious. She doesn't want to believe her perfect life could fall apart. After all, she's got a great husband, amazing kids, and years of happiness behind her. How could anything ruin that? But deep down, a tiny voice whispers that something's wrong, and soon she's going to find out just how wrong it is. It all comes crashing down on a quiet morning in July 2023. The kids, Mike and Cynthia, are spending the weekend with their grandma, Katie. Bruce leaves for work early, kissing Megan on the forehead like always. The house is silent, wrapped in a calm stillness. Megan is in the kitchen, brewing coffee, staring out at the green yard through the window. She's planning a rare day to herself, maybe a book, a bath, something to shake off the nagging worries she's been carrying. Then she sees it. Bruce's phone left on the kitchen table. He never forgets it. Never. The screen lights up with a new message. Megan isn't the type to snoop. She's trusted Bruce for years, but something pulls her closer. She glances at the screen and freezes. It's from Katie, her mom. The words hit her like a punch. "I can't wait to see you again." Her heart races. Why would her mom text him like that? It's weird, too familiar. Her hands shake as she picks up the phone. They've never kept secrets. No passwords, no locked screens. She unlocks it, telling herself it's nothing, just a misunderstanding. But when she opens the conversation, her world shatters. Months of messages spill out in front of her. Not friendly chats about family dinners or the kids. These are different, full of hidden passion, secret plans. Words Megan never thought she'd see. "Miss you already," Bruce wrote last week. "You're so careful no one will ever know," Katie replied days ago. There are hints of meetups, times and places they snuck away together. "That night at the park was perfect," one says. Another, "We'll keep this just between us." Every line is a knife in Megan's chest. Her husband and her mother, the two people she loves most, have been lying to her, betraying her for months. She scrolls faster, tears blurring her eyes. They talk about hiding it from her, laughing about how clueless she is. They even mention family events, how they'd smile and act normal right in front of her. One message from Katie cuts deepest. "She trusts me so much, it's almost too easy." Megan drops the phone, her breath catching. She sits at the table, coffee forgotten, staring at nothing. The room spins. Her mind screams. How could they do this? Her best friend, her soulmate, together behind her back. Hours pass, but she barely moves. Shock turns to grief, then to a burning anger she's never felt before. She wipes her eyes, picks up the phone again. She needs to know everything, every detail of this nightmare. The messages keep coming. More secrets, more lies. They've been meeting at hotels, parks, even when Katie came over to help with the kids. Megan sees it all now. The late nights, the business trips, the way Katie always asked about Bruce's work. It wasn't stress, it wasn't family. It was them, tearing her life apart. Her hands tremble as she sets the phone down. She can't cry anymore. Not yet. She has to figure out what's next. Confront them? Scream? Run? Her kids flash in her mind. Mike's goofy grin, Cynthia's tiny hugs. She can't let this destroy them. But how do you face the people who broke your heart like this? She takes a deep breath, staring at the phone like it's a loaded gun. This isn't over. She's not ready to face them yet, but she knows one thing. She can't just let this go. Megan always thought her life was close to perfect. A happy marriage, a loving mom, a family she'd fight for. Now it's a lie. She's been living with strangers. The woman who raised her, the man she built a home with, they've turned her world into something ugly. What would you do if this happened to you? Walk away? Fight back? Megan isn't sure yet, but she's about to find out how far this betrayal goes. And it's only the beginning. Megan doesn't scream. She doesn't call Bruce or Katie and demand answers. Not yet. She's too shaken, too broken to face them. Instead, she decides to wait, to watch. She needs more proof, needs to understand how deep this betrayal runs. So she puts on a mask. The next few days, she acts like nothing's wrong. She smiles at Bruce over breakfast, asks about his day, even plans a family picnic like they used to. Sounds fun, he says, grinning back, clueless that she knows. Inside, her heart's racing, her stomach twisting with every fake laugh, but she keeps it together, for the kids, for her plan. At night, when Bruce is asleep, she turns into a detective. She grabs his phone from the nightstand, her fingers trembling as she unlocks it. More messages pop up, fresh ones from Katie. Last night was amazing, one says. Can't wait for next time, another. Megan's chest tightens, but she keeps scrolling, saving screenshots in her mind. She finds dates, times, excuses they've used. Bruce's late nights at work match up with Katie's errands. It's all there, laid out like a map of their lives. Every word fuels her anger, but she stays quiet, biding her time. She starts avoiding Katie too. When her mom calls, Megan lets it ring. Busy with the kids, she texts back, short and cold. Katie keeps trying, showing up with cookies, asking to see Mike and Cynthia. Megan makes excuses, says she's tired. She can't look her mom in the eye without imagining those messages. She's afraid she'll snap, spill everything right there. And Katie? She seems off too. Her voice wavers on the phone. Her visits feel forced. Does she know Megan suspects something? The tension between them grows, thick and heavy, like a storm cloud ready to burst. Meanwhile, Bruce is acting strange. He notices Megan isn't herself. She's quieter. Her smiles don't reach her eyes. You okay? He asks one night, casual but nervous. Just tired, she lies, turning away. He doesn't push, but she catches him watching her, fidgeting with his phone more than usual. Maybe he senses the shift, the way the air in their house feels wrong. The kids keep things normal, Mike begging for video games, Cynthia drawing pictures, but even that can't hide the truth. Megan feels like she's living with a stranger now, not the man she married. By July 14, 2023, she can't take it anymore. The pretending, the secrets. It's eating her alive. Every time she sees Bruce, she sees those texts. Katie's words tangled with his. Her perfect life is a sham, and she's done playing along. That evening, the house is quiet. The kids are in bed, their little snores drifting down the hall. Megan is in the kitchen, chopping vegetables for dinner, her hands shaking. Bruce sits at the table, scrolling on his phone, pretending to read the news. The silence is suffocating, pressing down on them both. She looks at him, his dark hair, his tired eyes, and feels a wave of pain. This man, her husband, her partner, has ripped her world apart. She can't keep it inside any longer. The knife clatters to the counter. She wipes her hands, takes a deep breath, and turns to him. We need to talk, she says, her voice tight but steady. Bruce looks up, his face cautious, like he's been waiting for this. What about? He asks, trying to sound calm. But his hands shake just a little. Megan stares at him, her eyes burning with everything she's held back. The moment's here, the truth's coming out, and neither of them knows what's about to happen next. The kitchen feels like a battlefield. Megan stands there staring at Bruce, her heart pounding so loud she can hear it. We need to talk, she says again, her voice sharp now. He sets his phone down slow, like he's buying time. What's wrong? He asks, but there's a crack in his calm. He knows something's up. Megan takes a step closer, her hands clenched. She's been holding this in too long, and it's about to explode. I know everything, Bruce, she says, low and steady. I know about you and my mother. His face goes white, like the blood just drained out of him. The phone slips, thudding onto the table. Megan, it's not what you think, he stammers, standing up fast. But she cuts him off, her voice rising. Don't. I've seen the messages. All of them. You lied to me. You betrayed me, our family. Her words hit him like punches and he flinches. She's shaking now, tears spilling down her cheeks. How could you? With her? My mom? Bruce's eyes dart around, panic taking over. I didn't mean for it to happen, he says, hands up like he's begging. It got out of control. I tried to stop it. But Megan isn't buying it. Stop it? She snaps. You've been sneaking around for months, planning it, laughing about it, about me. I trusted you. Her voice breaks, but she keeps going. I'm done with your lies. Everyone's going to know. Your firm, our friends, everyone. That's when something shifts in Bruce. His face hardens, fear turning to desperation. Megan, please, he says, stepping toward her. Don't do this. You'll ruin everything. Our family, my life. She shakes her head, backing away. You ruined it, she spits, turning for the door. She needs air, needs to get out before she loses it completely. She steps outside, the cool night hitting her face. Her body's trembling, her mind a mess. She stands in the dark, breathing hard, trying to figure out what's next. But she doesn't hear the door open behind her. Bruce's mind is racing, images of his career crashing, his reputation gone, everything he's built slipping away. He can't let her tell. He won't. Fear twists into rage and he moves like a shadow. Before Megan knows it, he's there, right behind her. His hands grab her throat, tight and sudden. She gasps, a scream caught in her chest as his fingers squeeze. I'm sorry, he whispers, voice breaking, but he doesn't stop. Megan fights back, clawing at his arms, kicking wildly. Her nails dig into his skin, but he's stronger, fueled by panic. She can't breathe, her lungs burning, her vision blurring. She thinks of Mike and Cynthia, their little faces, their giggles. She can't leave them, but her strength fades fast. Her hands drop, her body goes limp. In minutes, it's over. Bruce lets go, and she falls to the grass, still and silent. The night is quiet. No crickets, no wind, just the moon staring down at what he's done. He stands over her, breathing heavy, hands shaking. Her eyes are open, wide with terror, locked on nothing. Reality slams into him. This isn't a dream. He killed her, his wife, the mother of his kids. Horror floods his chest, mixing with guilt. But it's too late. He stumbles back, staring at her lifeless body. His mind's a blank, stuck on one thought. What now? He turns and walks inside, leaving her there in the dark. The man who smiled at breakfast, who tucked his kids in, is gone. All that's left is a murderer. Morning comes slow on July 15th, 2023. The sun peeks through the trees in that quiet Austin suburb, but something's wrong at the Preston house. A neighbor notices the backyard gate open, sees Megan lying still on the grass. They call the police, and soon, sirens break the calm. Detective Jessica Miller arrives first, a tough, no-nonsense cop with years of experience. She steps onto the scene, eyes sharp, taking it all in. Megan's body is there, cold and still, with dark marks around her neck. Strangled. Miller knows this isn't an accident. Bruce is on the porch when she walks up. He looks wrecked, hair messy, eyes red, hands fidgeting. What happened? Miller asks, watching him close. I found her this morning, he says, voice flat. In the backyard. She's dead. He stares at the ground, avoiding her gaze. Miller's gut twists. Something's off. He's too jittery, too quiet. She doesn't push yet. She's patient, likes to build a case step by step. The police tape off the yard, and experts start digging for clues. No signs of a big fight, no torn clothes, no mess. It's like Megan just walked outside and never came back. Miller sits Bruce down in the kitchen. "Where were you last night?" she asks, keeping her tone soft but firm. He shifts in his chair. "At home," he says. "Kids went to bed. I went to my room, fell asleep, woke up early and found her." His story's simple, but he won't look at her. She writes it down, already doubting him. Neighbors come forward. Some heard muffled voices late last night, maybe an argument, but nothing clear. No one saw anything. Miller needs more. Then a lead breaks it open. Megan's friend Marie calls the station, shaken. She meets Miller and spills everything. "Megan told me a few days ago," Marie says, eyes wet. "She found out Bruce was having an affair with her mom, Katie. She was crushed, didn't know what to do." Miller's jaw tightens. An affair with the mother-in-law? That's a motive wrapped in betrayal. She digs into Bruce's phone next, finds texts with Katie, full of love and lies. Megan had seen them too, but never got the chance to face her mom. The proof's all there, a secret unraveling too late. The evidence piles up fast. Forensic teams find tiny traces, fibers from Bruce's shirt on Megan's body, scratches on his arms he can't explain. His alibi's falling apart. Miller brings in Katie for questioning. She's a mess, crying, saying she's lost her daughter. But Miller sees through it. Katie's hands twist, her answers stumble. After hours, she cracks. "Yes, I was with Bruce," she sobs. "It was wrong, I know. I tried to end it, but he wouldn't let go. I didn't know he'd hurt her, I swear." Miller doesn't buy the innocent act, but it's enough to corner Bruce. She sits him down in the interrogation room. He's unraveling, sweaty, eyes darting. "We know about the affair," Miller says, calm but cold. "We know Megan found out. You were there when she died. Your clothes prove it." Bruce clenches his fists, breathing hard. "I didn't want this," he mumbles. "She was going to tell everyone. Ruin me. We argued. She pushed me and I lost it." His head drops. "I didn't mean to kill her." Miller leans back, letting his words sink in. A confession. Fear turned to murder. The case is solid now. Bruce is done. But will the courts see it through? Bruce's arrest hits Austin like a thunderclap. Word spreads fast. A man who killed his wife to hide an affair with her own mother. It's the kind of story people can't stop talking about. Detective Miller builds an airtight case. Bruce's confession, the text with Katie, the scratches on his arms, the fibers on Megan's body. There's no way out. The trial comes quick, and the courtroom's packed. Everyone wants to see how this ends. The prosecution lays it all out. How Megan found the messages, confronted Bruce, and paid with her life. They show the text, read his panicked words aloud. It's damning. Bruce's lawyers try to fight back, saying he snapped under pressure, couldn't control himself. Emotional distress, they call it, begging for mercy. But the evidence is too strong, the betrayal too ugly. The jury doesn't buy it. After hours of waiting, the verdict drops. Guilty. 55 years in prison, no parole. The gavel bangs and the room goes dead quiet. Bruce just sits there, head down, a broken man. Megan gets justice, but it doesn't feel like a win. Katie's left in pieces. She doesn't face charges. There's no proof she knew Bruce would kill. But the guilt eats her alive. She stops coming around, stops calling. The woman who was Megan's rock vanishes into her own shame. A mother who lost everything by her own hands. Mike and Cynthia, so young and innocent, don't understand why mommy's gone or why daddy's locked away. They're with family now, but their little world's shattered. It's the kind of ending that sticks with you. Justice served, but at what cost? Detective Miller walks out of the courthouse, case closed. She's seen too many stories like this. Love turning to hate, families torn apart. She got the truth, put Bruce behind bars, but it's bittersweet. Megan's face stays with her, A woman who trusted too much, loved too hard. The story blows up beyond Austin, hitting newsstands and screens across the country. People can't get enough of it. A perfect life unraveled by secrets and murder. So what pushed Bruce over the edge? Was it just fear of losing his fancy life, or something darker inside him? Could Megan have walked away that night, saved herself somehow? It's hard to say. Her trust in Bruce, in Katie, was her strength and her downfall. This tale leaves you wondering about the people closest to you. How well do you really know them? What secrets might they hide? Megan Preston paid the ultimate price to find out, and her story's one we won't forget. Thanks for sticking with me through this wild, heartbreaking story. Megan Preston's life went from perfect to tragic in the blink of an eye, and it's hard not to feel for her. If this tale of betrayal and murder got you hooked like it did me, please drop a like. It means a lot. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got more true crime stories coming your way every week. Next time, we're jumping into a case so twisted it'll leave you guessing until the very end. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Down in the comments, tell me what you think. Did Bruce plan this, or was it a split-second mistake? What would you have done in Megan's shoes? Share your thoughts, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.